I got news for you. That means you're gay. Peer-reviewed study finds monkeypox primarily transmitted sexually by men. Okay, well, I know I'm not going to be getting it. I know you're probably not going to be getting it because, well, I have faith in my audience that you aren't out there raw dogging people with a bunch of bumpy marks on their ass or balls. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. That just raises other questions as well, because we talked about this not that long ago. The couple of kids that ended up catching those monkeypox cases that come from same-sex households in New York and in California. Oh boy, let's not dig into that degenerate basket. We'll just get to some of the facts here because this is a peer-reviewed study. Okay, this is real science, but let's just see how bigoted science just immediately invalidates it, right? The first major peer-reviewed study of monkeypox infections has found that the virus is primarily being transmitted through a sexual activity of gay and bisexual. There's no such thing as bisexual men. You take a dick in the ass, you're fucking gay. You suck a dick, you're gay, okay? Nothing wrong with that. Just fucking live in reality, all right? In the United States and around the world. The Journal of New England Medicine on Thursday published a study that looked at monkeypox infections across 16 countries. Well, it's in like 45, and that's why it's a global health emergency. This shit's so fucking stupid. Between April and June, when cases began to emerge in countries outside of Africa. The study reported on 528 infections diagnosed between April 27th and June 24th, of which 98%. Wow, holy fuck. I was not anticipating that the percentages would be that high. Like, this is legitimately just a fucking gay dude's virus, okay? 98% were in gay or bisexual. Again, just cut the shit, okay? With a median age of 38. Oh, fuck. So just gay dudes in the prime of their life getting the whole gay shingles. Oh, well. Of these cases, 95% of the infections were suspected to have been transmitted through sexual activity. 41% also had AIDS. Wow. They definitely want it all. Pun intended. Disease experts and officials from the United States Center for Disease Control and Prevention. Ah, yes, the good old CDC. What sort of brainwave insight are these fuckers going to offer? Don't consider monkeypox a sexually transmitted infection. They don't consider it. Okay, cool. 98% were in gay or bisexual men. Yeah, okay. It's definitely not a sexually transmitted infection. Okay. But have said it could be transmitted through intimate contact such as sex. Boy. It's like, listen, crabs isn't a sexually transmitted disease. Although, if you have pubic hair like this is in the 1970s and you fuck somebody, you could be transferring it that way. Or you could still believe that old wives' tale of getting it from a fucking public toilet. No, it's not from the toilet seat. It's from the glory hole, you weirdos. It can also be spread by close contact and even infected clothing and bedding. Okay, so it is like crabs. Until this year, monkeypox virus infections in humans have been rare outside of Africa. It writes itself. Oh, or the endemic is mostly spread from animals. Listen, I've been treading a fine line when it comes to this video already. Nope, if this was a different platform, but nope, not right now. If we ever meet in public, I'll be telling these jokes that I'm thinking through my head right now. Anyways, you can already connect the dots yourself. Oh, but there are now more than 16,000 cases. Oh my god, it's endemic. Yeah, but again, at best, what, 10% of the United States population? Well, you can cut that in half, and I don't even know how you dice it up at this point, okay? But that used to be the LGB portion of everything, but who the fuck knows at this point, okay? But yeah, no, now it's worldwide. Yes, 16,000 cases. There are 7.5 billion people on Earth, but 16,000 cases is also, grounds to announce a global health emergency. Most of the cases appear to be in North America and Western Europe, yes, where fun boys like to hang out, where some of the first cases were linked to a major LGBT event in Spain and Belgium. Oh my god, it's supposed to be the running of the bulls, not getting fucked by the bulls. Considered ground zero for facilitating transmission of the virus. The leading theory among disease experts is orgies. And the monkeypox virus was sexually transmitted at those events. But hey, shut up. That's being bigoted. It's not a sexually transmitted disease. Holy. An uptick in recent U.S. cases suggests transmission occurred at the tail end of Pride Month. This is my new favorite story. Pride Month in late June, early July, based on the study finding that incubation is between 3 and 20 days, usually 7. Those are big fucking bars that are out there, okay? But again, a pretty large explosion of cases, so maybe it was a pretty big bar. Did they also have leather and buckles, whips, and chains? Was everybody dressed like a Judas Priest concert? Cool. Let's see who's the blame for this. CDC officials were hesitant to recommend canceling marquee U.S. LGBT events, similar to the super spreading events in Europe that occurred the month prior. Yeah, no, that'd be transphobic, whatever. I don't know. Whatever, the event organizers were also treading carefully in the spring. Didn't hear anything about this. Oh, just heard about the outbreak in June, but that's about it, okay? It didn't have anything to do with any of these pride events that are out there, but imagine that. Magically, just like all of the profile pictures, you know, hey man, just, we'll see the goofy little flag next year, but yeah, didn't hear fuck all about this until the month was over. Funny thing about that. They wanted to avoid stigmatizing the LGBT community. Well, okay, if it's a specific issue to them, kind of like having the biggest demographic of suicide attempts, okay, specifically within their ranks. Not naming any names or anything, but I'm addressing a certain 40% to some people. But anyways, this is where that whole, okay, there's the stigma and people can't get help. No, when you don't properly address something, that's when people end up getting injured, and that's when people end up getting hurt. When you don't want to reconcile with reality, that's a problem. U.S. health officials opted instead to boost targeted messaging to warn gay and bisexual men who were deemed most at risk. Yeah, 98%, that's why. But officials should have done more, said Dr. Paul Alexander, a former Trump administration health officer and researcher. All this needed was leadership saying no skin-to-skin contact, no anal sex, no sex, none for a few weeks. Wait a minute. Couldn't you just said sex because you didn't specifically, talk about blow or hand jobs? Like, come on now. And bisexual men, theoretically, I don't know, maybe with a gun to the back of their head, fuck women occasionally. Just not all that well, and not without a bunch of crying afterwards. None of it's political games, and now low-risk general heterosexual population is at risk from bisexual males. Not really, but whatever. Alexander wrote in the blog post. The blog post also included a Twitter thread by a gay U.S. man recounting in graphic detail his experience with contracting monkeypox during an orgy in Palm Springs. Yay! I ain't reading that shit. Alexander expressed concern that bisexual men could facilitate the spreading of monkeypox virus outside of the LGBT community to heterosexuals. No, because if you're willingly and knowingly fucking a bisexual dude, let's just theoretically play this shit out, okay? If a woman and mostly a man get together, they're probably leading a certain lifestyle, as long as everybody's open and honest about this type of stuff, okay? Because sometimes a woman's man could be on the down low for a second and you don't quite know about all this stuff. But you might be asking some questions when your partner's dick looks like the surface of the moon. After a boys' trip to Palm Springs, you're going to be wondering a thing or two. Or wondering why he farts after a big plate of nachos. It sounds like somebody just opened up the window and a slight breeze is rolling through. Alexander expressed concerns. Oh yes, it spread the heterosexual community and whatever. In fact, the CDC has said they know of 8 cases in women and 2 new cases in children. Yeah, no, less said about that, the better. Heterosexuals could spread this from one partner is infected, and there's a rough, abrasive sex that involves tearing of tissue. All right, well, listen, okay. Outside of some real fucking powerhouse tops, I don't really see there being too much rough sex, okay, between a bisexual and their potential partner. Let's keep it a buck. This is not about being gay. The numbers would beg to differ. The virus is transmitted in bodily fluids and infected pustules, and lesions. Can we make sex seem less fucking appealing? Can you try that, for Christ's sakes? Through any tears or skin or tissue. Is that what you're referring to as vaginas now? Tears? Oh, wonderful. Rectal microlesions. Lord have mercy, it's KY jelly. Use some Eros or something like that, you fucking monsters. If heterosexuals engage in anal sex, Okay. And one is infected with monkeypox or another. Why is it specifically anal sex? That's weird. Sexually transmitted disease. Oh, or other sexually transmitted diseases. The other will get infected if there's tissue tearing. Yes, no. It gets into the bloodstream. We know how that shit works, okay? Went through the health class just like everybody else. Although monkeypox infection is generally clears up within a couple of weeks. And again, here's all this fear mongering. And what are the symptoms? Yeah, a couple of abrasions, and then it all clears up. Wonderful. It has hospitalized some who experience severe anal rectal pain. No, that's getting it direct from the source, okay? Severe sore throat. You can't make this stuff up. Your ass hurts and your throat's sore. Do you think it has something to do outside of the infection of monkeypox and acute kidney injury? Wow. Lord have mercy. Okay, again, are we sure that's symptoms of this virus and not of having the pick of the litter at the leather bar? Just saying, okay? But good thing we have the official word from the WHO, because they have also issued a statement on all this stuff, okay? Now that we know all the facts that are out there, monkeypox, public health advice for gay, bisexual, and other men. What other men are out there, okay? Fucking clean this up for anybody. And other men who have sex with men. I'm not gay. I have relationships with women and sex with men. I got news for you. An outbreak of a disease called monkeypox is currently taking place in countries that have not typically had cases. So it wasn't an issue, okay? If it was just those Africans running around butt fucking each other, okay? That wouldn't be an issue at all. But because, I don't know, maybe the more affluent countries out there, is that what you guys are concerned about at this point? Because that's a little fucked. The public health advice contains information on how monkeypox spreads. Yeah, no, let's actually get to what they're promoting the symptoms are of this, okay? In case you end up taking a bad fucking roll of the dice this weekend. Because again, it's like, oh no, it's mutated and it's more transmissible than ever. And then once the data comes out, actually there was a big old orgy and like a big old fucking human centipede attached at the hip that was happening in Spain and Bosnia or wherever the fuck it was. I don't know, I'm not traveling to those fucking places. But yes, some of these cases, 95%. 98%, sorry, 95 were via a sexual transmission, but okay. Some of these cases are found in the gay community. Gay, bisexual, and other men who have sex with men. Thanks for a lot of words for nothing. Transgender people and gender diverse people. This is from the World Health Organization. We're going with all of this fucking mongoloid talk. How adorable. May also be more vulnerable in the context of the current outbreak. Symptoms include rash with blisters on face, hands, feet, eyes, mouth, chest, lower back, ass cheeks, wherever you can finish that off yourself. Kind of like these folks. Fever. Swollen lymph nodes. Well, again, don't be trying to get down to the base unless you're experienced. Headaches, muscle aches, and low energy. Hey man, I've never seen a gay guy that has low energy, so come on now. You can also catch monkeypox if you have close physical contact with somebody who is showing symptoms. Yeah, no, exactly. That's the first thing I want to do, start rubbing up against somebody who has a rash or blisters all over their body. This includes touching and being face to face. What about back of head to face, okay? And kind of like a 4-point spooning position. Anything like that? Monkeypox can spread. Close and skin-to-skin contact during sex, including kissing, touching, oral, and penetrative sex. I think you got it all covered right there. But what about hand jobs? Okay, nothing about hand. Oh, that's touching. Sorry, my mistake. With someone who has symptoms. Avoiding having close contact with anyone who has symptoms. Protect yourself and others by isolating at home and talking to a healthcare worker if you have symptoms. Well, to be fair, if you find yourself infected with this, you probably are in close contact with a healthcare provider because you're normally dropping by a time or two in your robe with the small dog, bringing your friend a cup of broth. Avoid skin to skin, face to face, whatever. Wear a mask if you're in close contact with somebody with symptoms. Oh, okay, cool. So if you have an infected party and you guys just want to fucking throw it down or do a little friendly docking, if you put a mask on, you'll be fine. These motherfuckers, you're so stupid. But yeah, I don't know. I had a laugh. This shit is retarded if you ask me. Okay, it's another STD that's out there. They'll eventually come around to that, but right now it's just not politically correct enough to say that. I'll say the things that they don't want to say because, yeah, well, call a spade and a queer. Oh well. But with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.